It's just like braiding hair, right?
It's exactly like braiding hair. Except because this is so stiff,
It's a lot harder.
it's a lot harder.
Welcome back to another episode of Green Thumb Gardening Secrets. Today we're going to talk about garlic braiding and garlic storage. The braids I have are definitely not perfect, and they're not the most beautiful braids. A good friend of mine, Dave Musoff, makes gorgeous braids that he gives away as gifts. I am not Dave Musoff. I don't have his talents and gifts. And my partner Jen, my wife Jen, said that these weren't attractive enough to be video worthy, and perhaps they're not, but they're what I have. And since I'm no Dave Musoff, this is what I have to show. First of all, if you're gonna braid your garlic, wait till it's a humid day. Those days, you know, those days that are so humid that when you pick up paper, it's like it's melting. That keeps the leaves from just crumbling to dust when you touch them. Some people say that soft neck garlic is the only garlic that can be braided. Soft neck garlic braids like a dream, but hard neck garlic is still doable. You just need a little more force to bend the central flower stalk, but it's totally doable with a little effort and gentle force.
Probably not. It's not a humid day today, so I'm probably gonna ruin all of this. But you know what? It's worth a shot. So braid just like you would braid hair. Start with your first three. Some people put a string around right here and tie these together just to make it a little bit easier once you're starting. It makes it a little bit easier, but it's not absolutely crucial. But braid it like you'd braid hair, and so you just, the outside goes to the middle, right? You just constantly braid to the middle. And once you're satisfied with where one is, you just add another at any time. And actually, I think I want to add it on this guy right there before that braid. You can add it when it looks appealing. You can add it when you can go farther up if you want a different aesthetic. You just keep on as you go up. I think actually I want to add one right here too, because I want a big clumpy at the bottom kind of aesthetic for this one. And you just keep on adding, right? You keep on braiding to the center. You can see how string does help, and feel free to use string anytime along the way. But it's not, if you don't, it's not that big of a deal. Stick this one under here. You see, I had this one that was all already used up. I'll stick it in there just to be an idiot and make it funny. Jen will roll her eyes at me when she watches this video, and a lot of other people probably will too. And that's okay. Where's the braid? If you're better at braiding than I am, this process will go much easier for you. You can see it's just that classic braid, one over, always to the middle. And a humid day definitely helps. You'll get a tighter braid, you'll get less broken stock up above, but you know, maybe you don't want a ton of stock stuff in your kitchen. At least I caught it this morning before the humidity is too terribly high, but definitely things are crumbly today. I don't mind a little extra fluff at the top. I'll stop somewhere up the braid and I'll just tie it off. And some people like to braid all the way up to the top. Some people like that little bit of tuft of whatever at the top. To me, I'm just creating storage in the kitchen. That's all I want is something I can easily hang and store in the kitchen. So if I can create some storage in the kitchen, and again, that's not the best braid. This one has been used a little bit. It's a little bit better braid. It's not the most attractive in the world. I will definitely grant that, but it's braided. You could do a much better job, I'm sure. You can clip the roots or just leave them as is. It doesn't matter either way.
The next most obvious question is, where do you store your garlic? Luckily for us, garlic stores best right in the kitchen. Interestingly, garlic has two very different temperature ranges in which it stores the longest. The cooler one is between 32 and 35 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0 or just under 2 degrees Celsius. The warmer one is between 55 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit, or just under 13 and just over 18 degrees Celsius. The 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 to 18 degrees Celsius range might be a little cooler than some people keep their kitchens, but 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius is pretty close. And since the ideal humidity for a garlic storage space is between 40 and 60%, which is right about where most people keep their houses, right on hand in your kitchen turns out to be one of the absolute best places to store your garlic. What's even better is that if one were to use the lower range of 32 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 to 2 degrees Celsius, it works great for long-term storage, but garlic stored at those temperatures sprouts almost immediately when taken out of that temperature. Warming from the cold signals it to start sprouting, like warming from the winter weather would signal the same for garlic in the ground in the spring. The good news for us is that garlic stored between 55 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit, or 13 to 18 degrees Celsius, in contrast, doesn't sprout in this way. Instead, it stays dormant and just very, very slowly approaches this sprouting stage over a much longer period of time. The upshot? Store it in your kitchen, which is awesomely convenient for us that right where we'll be using it is the exact place that has the ideal conditions for long-term storage. One last final thing, Growing Great Garlic by Ron England is a fantastic book. Anybody who's passionate about growing garlic will learn a ton in reading it. That's it for this episode. I'm gonna go hang these back in the kitchen where they belong. And until next time, stay open to growing.
And as always, check out our Twitter and Instagram. By the same token, check out our website for much more information on all of these topics.
The pileated woodpecker is making a bunch of noise behind me, which is awesome.